Good morning. I was going to wait till some people were on here, but that never works out. I'm trying to set you guys up. Oh, hold on. Oh, come on. This sucks. Oh, boy. Let's see. What can I use to prop you guys up? Hold on. Trying to find something to lean you guys up against here. Give me a second. Maybe I should just unplug you. Hi, how are you, Christian? How you doing? I am getting ready to leave to the airport, and I thought that I would chat with you guys while I did my makeup and hair. I'm good. Excited. We're headed to Tennessee, house hunting, so that's exciting. We will be spending the next 4 days there, and hopefully come back with some good news. We shall see. And the ironic thing is I found my realtor on YouTube. So I think that is really cool. And she moved 2 years ago from California to Tennessee. Let me find my, there we go, live chat. There we go. That is so cool. Where does your nephew live? That is so cool. I think that's awesome. I don't do lives. I think that it's fun to do lives with, he's in Austria as well. I think that it's fun to do lives because it gives you guys a chance to get to know me on a more personal level as opposed to edited videos. You know what I mean? So I think that those are fun to do. And yeah. So, hold on. I can't find my moisturizer. Oh, here it is. He's 11. That's cute. So adorable. Now, do you guys celebrate? I know that some countries celebrate Thanksgiving like we do. Do you guys celebrate that in Austria? I gotta hydrate the old lady skin. I wish that I would have paid more attention to this area as a teenager and protecting it from sun damage, but I did not. I had a mother who loved, I haven't. This apartment is so small that I had bags and bags of stuff. So I just like put stuff in places, except for back here, which you're kind of getting a sneak peek of. But like over in the living room, I just put stuff up just to get it out of the way and off the floor. But anyways, yeah. So we don't arrive to Tennessee until tonight. And so I'm happy about that. I'm happy that we have like a really late flight that arrives late, so we don't have to get to the airport super early in the morning. I hate that. I have to put my glasses on to see what you're saying. Oops. There we go. Thank you. Afternoon, huh? So strange to me all the time. Well, even just going from the West Coast to closer to the East Coast, we have such a change in time. Yeah, so we are going house hunting and we are so excited about it. I have a house on my radar that I'm in absolute love with, and I cannot. I've already decorated it. I've already made changes to it. Like, I've already moved in. We were talking to our real estate agent last night, and I was telling her um, that I've already moved into the house and I've already decorated it, and yeah, I've got it all. Got it all planned out. So I'm hoping that the house is, in an area that we're going to enjoy, um, and that it's close to like shopping and all that kind of stuff. Where I'm hopeful. I'm hoping that the house looks, because last time we were there house hunting, we went to go see a house. I mentioned to you guys that there was a house that I didn't even show because it wasn't even worth the mention. And it was, yeah. So it really makes a difference when you are actually there, at the house and in the neighborhood. And it's different. So here in California, when you drive into, no, I shouldn't say all parts of California, but when you drive into neighborhoods that don't have associations, and I have like a love hate with associations because uh, they there can be associations in neighborhoods, HOAs, that are horrific. But I hate that. I hate that you have to, send everything to design, bureau or whatever, get it approved and all that kind of stuff. I can't stand that. But what I do like is that you're not living in filth, and I like that. So, but what we're finding in Tennessee are neighborhoods that have HOAs are also, they also have a say so on the size of the house. So let's say, not that we would, but let's say you're a young family and you're getting into, um, your first home, you're buying your first home, and you know that it's not big enough and you're a growing family and you want to add on to it later. Here in California, that's typically not an issue. You can do that. But what we're finding is with HOAs, no outside changes can be made. So that's pretty interesting. Um, and you have to get like approval because like one of the houses we were looking at said it must have three sleeping quarters. It must have a two-car garage, that kind of thing. And I get why they do that. They do that because they want to make sure that people aren't, um, turning their properties into like, here in California, it's very common where people will buy in neighborhoods and um, separate the house. They'll buy like these big houses, six-bedroom homes, and they'll separate them into like individual dwellings and rent out each, dwelling, with like a shared kitchen and sometimes a shared bathroom. It's very common in California. So I get that that is why they do that there, because they want to make sure that that doesn't happen and it saves the neighborhood, which is, I'm totally on board with that. So I get that, but we're finding that the HOAs in Tennessee seem to be a little bit more strict in that aspect, which, like I said, we're totally okay with. But yeah, so the neighborhood that we had went to go see, um, it uh, it looked really good on pictures, and um, the neighborhood looked really great because you can go into the map and walk the neighborhood. I do that all the time. Um, and so I went to go walk the neighborhood and I was like, yeah, the neighborhood looks really nice. But And getting there was really nice too. The drive to get there was really nice, which is super important to me. Um, you know, not only that, but access to like the freeways and that kind of thing. So, anyways, when we actually got there and drove into the neighborhood, um, it was, yeah, not. It wasn't horrible, so I will say that it wasn't horrible. It was um you could tell that there was no HOA. Let's just put it that way. So I like a neighborhood that has, where there's pride in ownership, I guess, where people aren't, you know, gross. So, I don't want to live in a neighborhood where people think it's okay to like put their sofa on the front porch. If you're okay with that, you do you, but I don't want to live in a neighborhood where people park their cars in their front lawn and that kind of stuff. That's just me. Um, Mainly because it just kills your property value. So, um, anyways, so uh, yeah, so there's that. But um, so we're going to look, and so I'm really hoping that this home that we're going to see is and the one that we saw uh in the last video, not the one that flooded, obviously, but the one that we saw, the second one that I showed you guys, or it was actually the first one, where I did the drive-through of the neighborhood. Um, it's under contract. An investor bought it, so that's a bummer. I really liked that house. I have a good eye, and I don't mind buying new construction. I think new construction is great. The problem I have with new construction is they're putting them up so fast. They're just not good quality. You know what I mean? Like you're not getting really good quality, not getting a great built home. And I feel like your homes that were built maybe like in the 80s, um, or probably and earlier, maybe even some of the 90s. You're getting much better quality with those homes. And so that is what I'm looking for. Also, the new homes are not made of brick. And if they are, it's usually just like a three-sided brick home. And then one side has that siding on it. So, and I love the brick homes. I think the brick homes are gorgeous. Um, Not that I'm opposed to a home that has siding on it as well, because I think that even if I get a home with siding or brick, I'm gonna have to power wash it probably annually just because of the moisture um, that you get in that part of the country, and it causes your home to get like that green buildup on it or what have you. So let me see if I'm missing any comments here. In Ohio, oh yeah, love Ohio. Um, I have not been there, but from what I've seen, and Ernie actually, his company actually has a job, possibly in Ohio, so that would be interesting. Not that he would go to it, but it'd be cool to go see it, you know? So I'm just doing like light makeup because it's a travel day. I don't typically like to wear makeup on travel days, but I'm going to today just because we're not leaving so early. Anyway, so we're excited. So we have the first house that I'm most excited about we're seeing tomorrow. And well, we're seeing a lot of houses. I think we have a total of like 15 or 17 homes or something that we're seeing. So we're seeing a lot of homes. And I'm sure we're going to be exhausted at the end of the day tomorrow and the end of the day on Saturday. We're going to be so tired. So, but we got to make this trip count. So that is exciting. Exciting news. Are you guys into Christmas? Are you watching all the Christmas? I last year I decorated so early, and I totally think I confused my grandkids because they were living with us at the time. Um, I I like to decorate early because, um, but I think I even had it. Did I have a deck? No, I think I waited till after Halloween. Some of these girls on here, they're decorating before Halloween. I don't know about that. I mean, you do you, but like, uh, you can hear everything brick. Ah, that's good to know. Did not even think about that. Um, had no idea about that. That is good to know. That's actually really good information. I love the look of a brick home. I think a brick home is so pretty. You know, it's just gorgeous. Um, I'm just wondering too, one of the questions that I'm asking is I love a red brick home, don't get me wrong. But what if I decide that I want to, not that I would, but what if I decide that I wanted to do like a German schmear? Not that I would do it, but have it done on the house. Would I be allowed? So that's another thing that, I'm looking into. Um, Another question that I have my realtor, or I'll have my realtor find out for me when we do find a house. Not that that would be a deal breaker at all, but if I can't make those kind of changes, and it's not like a pretty, because some of the brick is pretty and some of the brick is not pretty. The one that we're going to see, the brick is pretty, so I don't think that I would change it. But some of the brick homes can be that really, really red brick, and you guys know what I'm talking about. It doesn't really have much character to it, and some of the brick homes they have the brick actually has character to it, so it's pretty. So I'm excited about that. But why doesn't the chat just keep playing? Um, Bye, Christian. Thanks for joining me, hon. Yeah, the brick homes they're gorgeous. So I think that's all the makeup I'm gonna do. I got my hair washed and blow dried yesterday because I hurt my shoulder. I don't know how I did it. It hurt. It's getting better, but I have so much hair. My hair is very thick. I went and got it washed and blow dried yesterday, and she didn't do a good job. So I have to kind of flat iron it and make it make sense. But anyway, so the home, I'm really hoping. I almost wonder because the other homes that we sent her, we saw, I think a few of them before this particular home, and then some after. And we scheduled the tour for this house because when the other one that I really liked went under contract, I told my husband, I hope this home doesn't go under contract, before we get there and we get to see it. So we have a fair, chance at it. And he said, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. And he's right. Hang on, I have to plug this in. And he's right. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. But, and people aren't running out and buying houses right now. So, so that is, that benefits us too. But, I do not like the light. That's so much better. Oh my gosh. So anyways, he said, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. And he's totally right. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. And it's still it's still good. So we're still good to go see it. But I was telling him, I almost wish we would see that one last because like I said, I have already moved into that house. I've already painted it. I've already decorated. I know exactly how I'm using. It's not a big house at all. I know exactly how I'm using the rooms. I know exactly how everything. And he and so I told him I wish that I almost wish that we would be seeing that house last, because I feel like it's gonna sway my, it's gonna ruin us for every other house. We are going to see some new construction homes. The builders are really motivated right now, so I feel like that will benefit us, and hopefully we'll see. But yeah. So hey Roseanne, how are you, hun? I feel like it'll benefit us because they're so motivated. We were, for those of you that are not new, that may watch this, for the longest time, we were saying, hold on, I gotta get a hair clip. Okay, we were thinking about moving to Texas for the longest time. That was on our radar, and so we started following this guy in Texas, a realtor in Texas, probably about, I don't know, maybe a year ago. Was it a year ago? No. How long have I been here? I don't even know. Anyways, we started following him, and he just put a video out. And there's many reasons why we decided to not move to Texas. But he put a video out yesterday or the day before, and he was saying how one of the builders that he works with, or has sold homes for, has dropped the home price for one of the models $100,000, and on top of that, now you tell me it's not grossly overpriced, the real estate market, or was grossly overpriced. Not only that price drop happened, but they also are giving like $25,000 buyer incentive. I said, shoot, that's almost enough to make me want to move to Texas now. But no, I won't, because there's a lot of factors, why we decided against Texas. And I know most of you are thinking that we're moving to Tennessee because our son moved there, but that's not really why. We fell in love with Tennessee the first time we went, when my sister moved there. We fell in love, and she moved to the Knoxville area, and yeah, 100,000. Can you believe it? She moved to the Knoxville area, and we were in love. Ernie, I have been trying to get him to move out of California for years, and he just wouldn't do it. And so I was shocked when we went to go visit my sister that one time that he was literally, we went home house hunting for fun, and he actually was on the phone with a realtor when we were there because now, well, I wouldn't have bought the home. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy I didn't buy it now, but it was literally down the street from my sister, and it was a lot that was an acre. I think it was maybe an acre. I look like a China doll right now, huh? I think it was like an acre. And on the property backed up to like the forest or the woods, whatever they call it over there. And there was a pond, like a little lake. And that property and the property next door shared that lake, or pond or whatever, fishing pond, whatever it's called. And so, yeah. And we would have had, so anyways, it would have turned out, we would have had to build a home on that lot for, that was no smaller than 2,500 square feet, no problem. And it had to sit so far back, because I try and keep the aesthetics of the neighborhood to a certain thing. And so then we would have had to build a no smaller than did I say 2,500 square feet? And um, the house had to be sit back so far from the street. And what am I doing here with my hair? It just keeps hanging in my face. So I'm like trying to get it to like go backwards. Go backwards. Um, anyways, anyways, the cost with building, it would be like a custom home basically. So you basically would go with the builder, and the builder has like three plans or something that you can choose from, right? And the cost, it would have cost us 450,000 total. So we were enamored with Tennessee at that point. So this will be our fourth trip, and we have fallen in love over and over and over and over again. So every time we go, we fall in love with the people. We fall in love with the Southern hospitality. You do not get that here in California. Anybody in California will tell you when you live in a neighborhood in California, you don't know your neighbors. You just don't. You don't know your neighbors. A matter of fact, let me tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a little story. Our 2 homes ago, the home that I thought was our forever home, when we bought that house, we um, moved in when's Memorial? I think it was Memorial Day or Labor Day or May, March, April, May. It's May. Anyways, we moved in and I loved that house. And we got to know some of the neighbors, just nice people that said hi to us. So one night I wake up to Ernie jumping out of bed. Okay, this is no lie. I'm telling you this happened. He jumps out of bed, and um, I see him looking at, we were in the second story, and our bedroom windows looked over into the street behind us, into their backyards. And yeah, a lot of people are glad they left. Um, anyways, so he's looking out the window, and I see this bright light shining on him. And, I'm kind of out of it because I'm just waking up. And uh, he starts to run out of the room. And I start to get up, and I'll stay here, and I'm like, of course I'm not going to stay put. So I get up and I look out the window, and I see all the neighbors that live behind us in their backyard, and they're looking up, and there's like this bright light. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Is there like a UFO? Like, what the hell? And so I go out of our bedroom, and you walk down a hallway, and at the end of the hallway, you can either go left into like the other bedrooms or right down to the stairwell. And as I start to go right down the stairwell, he's running up the stairs, and he's all, get back in the room, and I'm all, what's going on? And he goes, there's cops everywhere. And I was like, what? What's going on? And so I go to my son, who our oldest son was living with us at the time, and he was working nights. And so I go to his room because his room was over the garage in the front of the house. And I look out the window and literally cops everywhere. They were in our driveway, laying on the driveway, laying on our grass with rifles and SWAT. And it was insane. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And so you hear the loudspeaker, right? And what the hell? So it turns out our neighbor across the street had a party, and they got drunk, and he got his gun and he shot at his brother and his niece as they were driving away, because him and his brother got into an altercation. And so he shot at his brother. And oh my God, it was so terrible. So this was right after we moved in, and we were like, where did we move? Like, what the hell? And so Anyways, um, it turns out that so I went out to the front yard the next morning to I don't know, fix the spring. We had two sprinkler heads that wouldn't pop all the way up, so they would flood the sidewalk. So sprinklers came on, so I went out there to like go pull those up. And the neighbor who lived directly across the street from me, next door to the guy who shot his brother, or tried to shoot his brother, um, she was pulling out of her driveway, and she stopped and she goes, "That was crazy last night." And she started telling me everything. And so we introduced ourselves to each other and we became great friends. And so when the guy across the street, um, got out of jail, it was so horrific, you guys. It was horrible. He had a teenage daughter and they had to pull her out of the house with her. They got to treat everybody like a criminal. And so it was just terrible. But, anyways, when they hadn't come out of the house when he got out of jail and he came back. They hadn't come out of the house forever. And so when we finally saw him, I was like, "Hey, and how are you guys? You guys okay?" And they came over and he was like, "Yeah, we're just really embarrassed," And so he goes, "I have a question for you." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "How did you meet this woman next door?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And he goes, how did you meet her?" He said, "I've lived here for 5 years." He goes, "And I've never ever met her before. She's my next door neighbor." And I said, "I talked to her." like, so I talk to everybody, and Ernie and I we're like driveway people, like we'll sit in our driveway with a bonfire and, a glass of wine or whatever. That's our favorite thing to do on Halloween. And we're driveway people. And I know that kind of sounds funny, but we're just friendly people, and if you need a helping hand, like one day I saw the guy down the street and this is how I got to know him. Um, he lived about 7 houses down from us, and he was up on this chair it's like the scary situation trying to cut this tree branch down. And I passed by on my way home, and the first thing I did was went in my garage and got one of those things. Ernie had one of those really long poles with the saw on the end. I grabbed it off the wall and I walked it down there and I said, "Can you please use this? It's so much safer," just really being nice and neighborly, to my neighbors. And I got to know so many of them. Um, but it's not normal because people pull into their garage, they shut their garage door and they go in the house and that's it. You don't see them, maybe on Halloween when you take your kids trick-or-treating, but um but that's it. So, going to my first experience in the South was when I went to Georgia, and my sister and I went to the mall, and people actually said hello to me. And my hair's looking really flat now. Um, but that's okay. As soon as I get out into the moisture, because it's kind of damp out these days, it'll it'll poof up. But when I went to Georgia, people said hello to me that I didn't even know at the mall, and I was like, "This is so cool." This is so awesome. And people who live in those parts of the country just think that you're so strange, or they think that we're all like, the stereotypical Californians, and we're not. Um, California has nice people. There is really nice people here. We're just tired of the high taxes. And that's another thing that we noticed about Tennessee, is we are so conditioned here in California. And I'm not getting political or anything. I'm just telling you, this is the differences that we've seen. We're so conditioned here to save water and save electricity. Buy an electric car, but you can't plug it in. And, we're just so conditioned here that things are just normal to us. So when I go to, other parts of the country and, like for instance, okay, let me just give you a for instance. We went to Pigeon Forge. What is that other area? That whole area, Pigeon Forge, where you go at I can't, it starts with an A. You take a one of those things to the top of the mountain. We went up there and it was so fun. But they sell alcohol up there. Like they have bars. We're not bars, but you can go up to like a little booth and you can order a margarita, and whatever. Nobody abuses that. It's Nobody there abused that. There was like not drunk people. Sorry, my phone's dying, so I have to like plug it in. There was like no people running around drinking and getting drunk, because everybody's just was respectful of it. And so we really we really noticed that. And then smoking, that was another thing here in California. And I used to be a smoker. I vape now, just so you guys know. I vape because that's how I got off cigarettes, and hopefully I'll get off vape too. But the I smoked a lot. So I would you're an outsider if you smoke here in California. Like literally, if you want to smoke a cigarette, you got to go in the alley with the dumpsters, which is totally wrong in my point. I mean, because I was a respectful Gattenberg, yes, thank you. I was a very respectful smoker, um, very respectful. And the reason why I quit was because I couldn't stand the way I smelled anymore. So imagine poor Ernie, he had to put up with it for so long because that guy has no vices. Um, but anyways, people are very respectful, or at least what we've seen, the people that smoke. So they're not being told they got to go around the corner and smoke, but they just do. And, it's just kind of human nature and knowledge to be respectful, I think. And I don't know, those are just kind of some of the things, and I may be, pretty being dramatic about it, but you notice a pretty big difference in the South versus the West Coast. Just saying, there's a big difference. So that is one of the things that drew us to, and the reason we want to move there. And not only that, but the taxes are asinine here. We pay taxes on everything, and then we pay taxes on the taxes that we are taxed on, literally. And so it's insane. It literally is insane. So it's not a affordable place for people to retire, and we're getting close to retirement. So it's just not a place for people to retire. But anyway, so that is why we are moving there. I don't need any scary stories. Thank you. um, when you are addicted to nicotine, nothing stops you from yeah, it just doesn't. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm a big girl. But thank you. Um, so anyways, that's our reason for going. That's our reason for wanting to move. We're super excited. So I know a lot of people were like thinking, oh, they're moving there because their son, and that's a benefit. But we are looking at homes where they live in Tennessee. But actually the area that we like is probably about 40 minutes away. Hello from Greece. Thank you so much for joining. The area that we're looking is probably like 45 minutes away, because Ernie's still going to be traveling for work. So we have to be near the airport. So we had to find a place that that worked for that. So we had to keep that in mind. But I also I'm not also going to buy the last home we're ever going to buy and base that off of how close, I'm going to be near somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to work for us 100%. So yeah, so we're very excited about it. So I'm hoping that when we get home, I will have good news to share. Hoping, fingers crossed. Like I said, everything has to line up. The house has to be in a great location. The neighborhood that we're going to see tomorrow is a private neighborhood. It's not gated or anything. I don't know what private means, but I'm assuming they have, like my sister in Georgia, when you drive into her neighborhood, they've got these big signs that say like no soliciting and stuff like that. And so um, that's awesome because you're not protected from that. Well, you are in California. Cities have those in place, but people don't listen to them. So, um, anyways, I'm assuming that's what private means, that they have those that posted there, but I don't know. So that's the first place that we're going to see is in a private neighborhood. So I'm hoping that we like the location because that is location is number one. The home, as long as it's got good bones, I'm okay with it. Totally okay with it. The more I can add of my own style to it, the better. So I have no problem with painting. There's things that I'll hire out and things that Ernie and I will do on our own. So as far as cosmetics go, that would never stop us from buying a home. The cosmetics of a home would never stop us. Even if we felt like we needed to remove a wall, because I'm already this home that we're going to see tomorrow, the entry into the den is right off of well, it's kind of hard to see in pictures. That's another reason why I'm so excited to go see it. Is it looks like I can put like an entry table or two, like, or a really long entry table, and then right when you enter the opening of the front den, or cocktail lounge is what I would call it. To the right is a doorway, a French doorway into a den, and or a big room, great room area. And so I feel like I would widen that. I don't know that I would keep it so private, or I don't know. If we go and I like the way that feels, I might keep it that way. So there's that. The kitchen is a good size. It's got a small island. The island is not huge, which I'm totally okay with. It's not like I've got this huge family anymore, around me. So I don't need things in my home now that I needed back, just pre-COVID when we were all living in the same little town and the kids were all over every Sunday and stuff. I don't need that kind of space. So I'm okay with that. There's things that I'm okay with, and I have to be okay with those things. So um, I do want, because even if I bought brand new construction, and we've purchased brand new construction 3 times already, we still add stuff to it. We just do, to make it our own. We don't move into a home and just leave it the way the contractor built it. We always add things. We've customized it because we've never built a custom home, but we buy brand new builds and we customize them to the way we like it. So the last house, I had the fireplace wrapped with shiplap, and then cabinets added on either side for storage, and we had the doorway from the entry hall into the great room area wrapped in like molding. We did crown molding throughout. There were still things that I wanted to do that we didn't get a chance to do because that is not, the way life went. But so we always customize the new builds anyways. But what we are finding is that the new builds that we've seen, online, they look very apartment-y, like the cabinets. I don't know. I just can't. It's like when you're viewing an apartment online, that's what they look like. So they don't look like they have very much character at all. It's like a box, and they like threw up some cheap cabinets, and and I told my husband, I said, I want a home that has character, or that has the ability to add the character, and I want good quality. So that's what you're going to find in an older home. And so I'm okay with that. Even if it's a great new build in a great area and it has potential for me to like rip the cabinets out and put up some good quality cabinets or something like that, I would do. Because or if they're good cabinets and I could just embellish them with moldings. Does that make any sense? You know what I'm saying? So we're not, everything is on the table. We're not taking anything off the table. We're looking at everything, new builds, you know, older homes. I think this home that we're seeing tomorrow that I'm so excited about was built in the 80s or the 70s or the 80s, I think. I can't remember. We've looked at so many. I have a whole list that I sent over to the real estate agent. So, um, and the quality is just so good. Now, the only negative with this particular home is that there's stairs to get up to it from the front. So it's a one-story home inside, but getting to the front door, you've got to climb up some stairs. In old age, that is not good. And I'm assuming to get into the garage, it would be the same. So we don't know what that looks like because there was no pictures of the garage, which always worries me when they don't share pictures of every room of a house. So I'm excited to see that. But, you know, because there's some homes that sit up so high that they walk out onto like a landing and then go down 2 stairs into their garage or a few stairs. So that's the only negative. However, my rebuttal to that is that when you go around to the back of the house, you come in directly into the home, and there are no stairs. So, you know, in our old age, if we can't do the stairs anymore, we can certainly, you know, get into our home going backwards. So, or going to the back way. So, anyways, you know, there's going to be, we're not going to find the perfect home. The only way that we would find the perfect home is if we built it ourselves, and that's not going to happen. So it doesn't make sense for us at this point in our life. So I'm excited, you guys. I am so excited. And the yards are just, that's another thing about buying an older home. When you buy the new homes in Tennessee, you're not getting the property that you get in the older homes. I like the fact that I've never had that here where you have the distance between neighbors. And I don't mean like I don't want to live super far away from my, well, that'd be great. But, you know, even if it's a whole property distance away, like a whole home property distance away from me, I think that that's, you know, awesome. So I've never had that before. And that's something that we really liked, you know, that your neighbors are not right on top of you. We love that. So anyways, what is my, see if anybody's talking to me. So anyways, that is it. I am ready, I think. So we arrived tonight, and we are going to be house hunting for the next few days. And I'm hoping, like I said, to come back with some good news to share with you guys. And I asked over on my community tab if you guys knew anything about shipping a car, because that's what we would most likely do, send our car over there. You know, have it shipped over there. And then I was asking if I could fill it because there's things. Hey, Kathy. There are things here from the apartment that I want to take. And so I was telling my husband after one of you guys, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember who commented, and it was so sweet. Something chick. I don't know your real name because you have a screen name, but thank you so much for responding to that and letting me know that you've done it before and you're not allowed to fill your car up. That was really good information. So I told my husband it might, you know, be better for us to just pack my car up, drive it to our storage. That's another thing. It's going to be so interesting to see how we do all of this because we have a storage unit and I don't know how we're going to do it, but I said it might be better for us to pack my car up and take everything that I want to take from here to Tennessee and take it to our storage unit so that when that gets packed up and moved, it all goes together. So we're not doing like double moving, like from here to there and from there to there. Oh, what a mess. It's just a mess. And it didn't make any sense for us at the time we sold the house and put everything in storage to get a storage unit here. It made no sense to us to pay to have it transported to Northern California when we knew it's going to end up in Tennessee eventually, or Texas at the time, we thought. Either way, it just made no sense because it costs a lot of money. Even just going from Southern California to Northern California, it costs a lot of money. So it was more cost effective for us to just shove everything into storage. Yeah, that's exactly, Kathy, what the person, I think it's Texas Chick is her screen name. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're listening or you end up watching this. But that's exactly what she said, that your stuff ends up going missing. So that is, yeah. But heck, hey, Irma. So we, we're probably going to end up doing that. We'll probably just end up loading my car up and taking it to SoCal and dumping it off at our storage unit. Or actually, we don't even have to make a trip before that because we would have to go down there anyways to unlock the storage unit the day the movers came. So we would just take everything with us that at that point. It's a lot of logistics involved in moving cross country. We're not even there yet because we haven't even bought a house yet. But I'm a planner. I plan everything and I need to know, like I need to understand the logistics of it all and I need to have a plan. And that is how I'm able to pack an entire home by myself and I do it on my own all the time because Ernie works. And so that's how I'm able to pack a home. Like the first house we sold when we did this the first time before COVID, um, I got rid of everything. Everything. I sold everything except for our bed. That I sold everything. And um, now my husband, so when we put everything in storage, and they just upped our storage fee by $100. Like that's screwed. You just get like this, we just got like this postcard in the mail. Hey, just so you know, your rate's going up. And it went up like $100 a month. So we're paying what most people pay in a car payment. I think it's like $400 or $500 a month to keep our stuff in storage. It's so ridiculous. Now that's what we're paying. So, and they just tell you it's based on demand or something. And so they just up your rate without asking you if it's okay. They just can't. And they've got you between a rock and a hard place, right? Because your stuff is there. What are you going to do? So, yeah, it was really ridiculous. And there's nothing you can do. You're really hogtied. You have to just accept it because your stuff is in storage. So what are you going to do? We have a big storage. In our storage, we have my sofa, my two chairs, my TV stand, TVs, all my garage stuff, like all my garage tubs. I have a freezer, a stand-up freezer, a refrigerator, tons of boxes, tons of decor. It's not the largest storage unit you could have at a storage place, but it's like, I think the one right beneath that. It's a big one. So they have you screwed. So anyways, I'm excited to not have to pay that anymore. Yeah, they know that you can't just get, no, but who's going to do that? Who's going to drive over to their storage unit and take everything? If I had a small unit, I'd be like, yeah, let me get a U-Haul real quick, but this is a big storage unit. It's basically a living room. The people that bought our house bought our dining room, a living room, a refrigerator, a bedroom, all the decor boxes, that kind of stuff. So it's not I mean, it's a lot of stuff. It's not like we could just go over and say, yeah, we don't want to pay that anymore, because we'd have to pay somebody to, move it for us because we're not down there. So we got kind of screwed there. And we also are finding out that the move is also something that you have to be leery of because movers are taking advantage of people moving cross country. Because so many people are leaving California. Um, yeah, so because so many people are leaving California, they are taking advantage. And so I will tell you that my daughter-in-law, and if you've watched the moving vlogs for them, you guys will know this already. But when my son and my daughter-in-law moved, they were quoted a price, agreed on the price, in the middle of putting their stuff on the truck, literally in the middle. So half of their stuff that they owned was already on the truck. The guy brings them into the kitchen and sits them at my table, and I'm trying to stay out of it, right? Because they're adults, but I'm still Mama Bear. Do not mess with me when it comes to my kids because I will hunt you down. And I'm doing the dishes or making a cup of coffee or something, and I hear him lay on them that it's going to cost them another $3,000. $3,000. Oh no. The look on their faces, like it's it was and I went over there. I was like, oh wait, I was like, nope, wait up. This is not happening. You're not doing this. This is exactly what I said to me. You are not doing this. No, sir. This is not happening. You are not going to come. Are you seriously sitting at my table right now trying to swindle $3,000 out of my son and my daughter-in-law? I said, no, that's not going to happen, honey. Oh my God. It was you guys. They did have to move, or they did have to pay more, but I got it down to $1,500. They shouldn't have had to pay another penny more. So let me tell you this. So I'm glad I paid the $1,500 because my heart was broken for them. So I'm like, I'll pay it, because they were moving. They have 4 kids. Anyways, so I'm glad that that lesson was learned and that we went through that because now we know for us. And I don't know if you guys watch Living with Cambria. They just moved, her and Bobby just moved from, I forgot where they lived. I don't even remember, to Florida. And that was another place that we were thinking about. And I've talked to her about it, but they did pods. So I'm going to reach out to her and find out about the pods because that might be something that we might do as well. But what they did, my daughter-in-law didn't know, was they spoke to a broker. So this broker is somebody who said, yeah, it's going to cost, like, what do you have? They have like this list they go down, like how many sofas and blah, blah. And so the reason why the move was costing more was because their sofas weren't average size. And we're like, what the hell? What's an average size sofa? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? And so anyways, so the broker will go down and, ask you, what do you have? And then you tell them, and then they give you this price, and then they'll shoot that out to a bunch of different moving companies, and somebody will take that and that'll be your mover. They didn't know that. They didn't realize that they were talking to a broker. They thought they were actually talking to the company. So, and when they showed up to deliver their stuff 6 weeks later, they were sleeping on air mattresses and using lawn furniture. Okay. Ugh, so disgusted with this company. And when they showed up with their furniture, their mattresses were strapped to the back of the truck, like on the outside, strapped to the back of the truck. I wasn't there. And my son said that the guys who actually delivered were actually really nice. So he couldn't get mad at him. Anyways, so that is our experience with them moving. And it's kind of the same thing with brokers when you buy a house. Like when you go to buy a home, anybody who's bought a home knows this. Um, you want to get your loan like approval directly from a lender, directly from the person who's going to give you the money. Um, but a lot of people, a lot of first time buyers will go to a broker, and the broker will collect all your information and pre approve you based on that information. And once you have found the house, and yeah, 6 weeks, Kathy, it took 6 freaking weeks for this company to deliver their stuff. 6 weeks. My poor babies. Thank you, Jesus, that she has an uncle that lives nearby who gave him like all the stuff out of his camper, like pots and pans and silverware and bowls and all that kind of stuff. So they were able to cook. And as a housewarming gift, Ernie and I bought them a dining room set. So they had a table and chairs to sit at. Um, Mayflower. Ooh, I gotta finish reading that. Where'd it go? Um, yeah. Uh, I know it's gonna be pricey, so I'm not looking forward to that quote. But it's kind of the same thing when you buy a. It is when you buy a. It is crazy. A home. You want to submit your. You want to get from the lender. You want the lender to say, yeah, this is. We'll give you the money, because otherwise, if you do it from a broker, then when you go to put a um, like a offer in on a house, um, and then you let the lender or broker know that you've done that, then he shoots your loan out to all the different lenders in hopes that one of them sticks. So that's why sometimes um, that's why sometimes they go into they fall out of escrow because people have gotten pre-approved by a broker, and then they don't really qualify. So I'm trying not to show you guys everything over there. Trying to be sneaky. Um, anyway, so that is the story that happened. So we have that to look forward to, which I'm not really looking forward to. Um, that is scary for me, and yeah, 6 weeks was just nonsense for them. It just really it was disgusting. So then my no, cancel, sorry. It just really made me mad for my kids because, they're younger, and well, they're your kids. I don't have to tell you guys, if you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. They're your kids, and to see a company take advantage of, a young family like that was Lordy, Lordy, pray for me. I usually go, the Lord is usually, okay, so if you have any prayers that haven't been answered, it's usually because the Lord is busy with me. That's what I always tell everybody. He's usually got one hand over my mouth and one on my shoulder. He walks with me because I need it sometimes, a lot of the time. I will definitely keep you guys posted on the house hunt for sure. You guys are gonna be with me the whole time. From the time I won't let you guys know when we buy the house. I'll let you guys know. Um, I don't know when, because I'm not going to say something in case it doesn't work out, because I wouldn't want to do that to you guys. I wouldn't want to say, oh, we put an offer on a house. Oh, we didn't get it. Oh, we put an offer on a house. Oh, we didn't get it. You know what I mean? I want to wait until like the deal is sealed before I share. So when we do find a house and I do talk about it, it's going to be because the deal is sealed. You know what I'm saying? And we've got plans to move forward. And I'm going to take you guys with me on the whole entire process. I plan on taking you guys with me on how I plan on getting all this stuff that I want to take. I'm not taking everything, obviously, because I always like to leave the apartment furnished, for Ernie, but for me too when I'm here. But I bought a lot of things knowing that we were going to move, saying, well, I'll just take it with me, and I can't take it with me on the plane. So but I might be able to box. It's mainly just like decor and stuff. So I'm thinking I can just do what I told you, take it to the storage and have it all put on the same truck together. Um, there was another family that moved from California to Tennessee that I saw. They went out and bought a trailer, one of those covered trailers, and they have a car or they had a truck that would pull that, and it was cheaper for them to buy that. And it was cheaper for them to buy that and load it themselves and drive it across country. And we wouldn't do that anyways. That was a horrible drive. I didn't like it. That was boring as heck and long. It took us 3 days, which I would never do again. I would take many more breaks if we were to drive. I told Ernie, if we ever do this again, I'm not trying to do this in 3 days. I'm not. And we did. We did it in 3 days, which is insane. We only stayed 2 nights. Yeah. So it was crazy. But anyways, I plan on taking you guys along with me for everything, like how I break this place down. Um, the company that we end up going with, I plan on sharing costs with you guys if it's, something that you guys plan on doing in the future, or somebody that's going to do it. I plan on everything. And of course, there's a house tour. So I'm going to be doing house tours when I'm there on houses in case one of the houses that we look at ends up being the house. I will already have that done, and then I can just hurry up and share it with you guys when the deal is sealed. And then, of course, moving in day and unpacking and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot coming up on the channel. So I'm excited to share it with you guys. And just so you know, no, I don't have to share any of this with any of you guys, but I enjoy it thoroughly. I appreciate it when other content creators share this kind of stuff. I really appreciate it because more often than not, when I'm talking to somebody in person, I say to them, oh, there's this girl that I watch on YouTube or this lady that I watch on YouTube, and she just had that experience and this is what she talked about, So there's a lot of useful information that you can share, but I thoroughly enjoy this because I'm an empty nester. Some empty nesters crochet, some paint, some read books. I make YouTube videos. I enjoy it so much. So anyways, I got to get packing and get ready to go. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in today's live. And yeah, we will see you guys Sunday. I have my first Decorate With Me video, the kitchen, which you got no sneak peeks of today. That's coming up on Sunday, every Sunday until this apartment is decorated. So anyways, we'll see you guys then. Bye.